We're going to start on the daily for MYM today. This past Friday was heavily bullish day. It took previous day's low. You can see a clear liquidation here and then finished bullish. I am expecting higher prices today. There's a nice daily draw on liquidity up here that could be taken. If we drill in deeper, 4-hour fair value gaps is what I prioritize. There's one bullish one right here that I'll speak to later, as well as another draw on liquidity up above that overlaps with the day and a nice strong place for price to go if it wants to continue this bullish momentum. Drop down to the 15-minute where I get my intraday structure, and I see that I'm bullish after London session here. So I am bullish. Here's my current price leg that I'm interested in from there to there inside the box. I don't start trading until 9:30, so the area of interest I'm looking for is a liquidation of this current New York session low that also corresponds with the current daily low in that blue line there, as well as sitting right above this remaining 4-hour fair value gap. So my plan is that price will dip into this area, give me a liquidation of a low on the 5-minute, and then give me a market structure shift on the 1-minute. And from there, I'll take my entry. Now you can see there's already a market structure shift on the 1-minute here, but since it is before my time, I'm not going to set any trades since I could easily get washed out in the 9:30 open. So that is part of my plan and something I'm trying to stick to, even though it's very enticing to try and take a trade here. I do go for 1-to-1, so there is a world where I could get tagged in and quickly gain a profit, but I'm trying to stay disciplined here. So that is the plan for today. Everything's lining up on MYM pretty nicely in terms of what I anticipate price to do. So let's see what happens. I'll check in later, but this is my plan for today. All right, we're right before the 9:30 open here, Eastern time. Got a strong move up and a break of structure to the upside again. Daily candle has turned bullish, which is aligned with my hypothesis for today. So I'm just waiting for a pullback and an entry. I see a 5-minute low here. It's not a strong one, but it's something that's deep in the price leg. So if that gets liquidated and I get a 1-minute market structure shift, then I would take that as my entry. Otherwise, I have the leg low here, which could also get liquidated. And if I still get my 1-minute market structure shift, then I'll take that. So that's my plan for today as we get 2 minutes away from open, and I'll check in later. All right, folks, a quick 10 a.m. update here, Eastern time. Price shot up after 9:30 open, so aligned with my bullish bias for the day. Did not sweep any points of interest on the 5-minute chart in order for me to gain an entry, so I missed out on any setups there since there weren't any according to my strategy. However, there is a nice 5-minute low here that if it were to get swept, could be something, but frankly, the setup I'm looking for now is there's a previous week high here. So if we go to the weekly chart, you can see that the previous week's high is right there, and it actually has passed that. So if we see a 1-minute market structure shift here, that could be an entry. So there's the 5-minute sweep right there of this high. And then if we are able to take this low with the market, if price is able to close below this line here on the 1-minute, it would be an entry signal for me since it has liquidated a key pocket of liquidity represented by the previous week's high. This would be counter trend, so I'd have to be very careful with the management of it, since on the 15-minute we're also bullish, as well as that's our bias, but we would be taking a short only because of the liquidation here of a key level, previous week's high. We'll see what happens, but that's the one setup I'm really looking at right now, given the jump up after 9:30 open here, East Coast. All right, more to come. Thanks. Hey guys, it's 11 a.m. Eastern, and I'm still tracking price action here. We have gone way above previous week's high, and I've been tracking to see if I get a 1 minute market structure shift. If on the 5 minute we have a nice liquidation of a high here that was put in, you see the liquidation right there, and now I'm waiting for this low on the 1 minute, this pullback to be broken by price action. You can see that it tested it and now has bounced off. But if we're able to close underneath this, I would take a short entry uh, on this, since at a higher time frame we've been going bullish for a long time here. So some type of pullback is inevitable. It's also price action has also taken out multiple daily highs here, as well as the previous week's highs we talked about. So that's what I'm waiting for. If I get it, then I'll take the entry, which I've kind of set up here already. I'm just going for a 1-to-1. I set my entry at I think this 5 minute order block here, this accumulation of price here on the 5 minute. So my entry is kind of placed at the bottom end of it, and then I do leave a 15-minute ATR buffer, so I take my stop loss all the way to here and then extend it depending on what my ATR is. So my ATR right now is 94, so I just do 100 just to give myself a little breathing room. So that's the setup if I get a break, but if price continues to go up, which I'm fine with. I won't take the trade then. We'll see what happens. All right, 11:48 Eastern time here, and just quick update. I did get a 1 minute market structure shift on MYM here. As you can see, we have a liquidation and then a 1 minute market structure shift right here. Right here. So this was the low that created the high. It was then liquidated and then gave a 1 minute market structure shift. Now, I did not take this trade because I just thought that the structure shift happened way past the previous weekly high. And given the heavy bullish momentum throughout the day, I didn't want to counter that trend, which is probably proving in my favor so far. So that this would have been the trade I took, but as you can see, it's running in drawdown right now. And my guess is that it will go to stop because of the heavy momentum here. I also had on the 5 minute chart equal lows here, which I didn't like. I would actually expect this to be liquidated and then maybe I can catch a long to go with the momentum of the day, but I can't even get that. Price has been heavy bullish all day. So I'm really glad that I actually had the trade on as pending, then took it away just at the last second because I just wanted to stay honest to my bias, which was bullish today. So I'm fine to not take any trades today, especially if it means avoiding this loss, which looks like it's going to happen. And I would have been really annoyed if I had taken this counter trend just because of PWH liquidation so far away. We'll see how this goes. I'll probably do one last check-in, and I'll probably be done for the day unless I get a 5 minute liquidation of some type of low here. Quick update, 12:15 p.m. That trade I would have taken would have resulted in a loss. So happy I didn't, kind of FOMO into that really, or kind of over convince myself, because the previous weekly high was around here. 1 minute market structure shift happened way late, and there were equal lows here, which I was hoping would get liquidated so I could actually take a long, which aligns with the bullish bias for the day. But in any case, today's a win, even if I don't take any trades, because I was able to, not force myself into this trade, even though it was against my plan for the day. So happy about that. So I'm going to take that off the board, and I'm probably done for the day at this point, but hopefully this was helpful. It was helpful for me as I get to talk through my thinking here. and avoid some poor moves. All right. Until tomorrow. Thanks.